Shadow of Memories is an experimental game which could have only come during the PS2's generation, from a Konami who are still very much about gaming long before their ventures into other businesses. While time travel is nothing new, preventing recurring deaths makes for a remarkably engaging story, like Groundhog Day with a sadistic twist. While it perhaps doesn't fulfill all of its potential and suffers from some presentation issues, its intriguing story and unique structure make it still worth a look for those seeking something on the eccentric side. Ike Kush is not having the greatest of days, what with being murdered. After perishing due to a stab in the back, he is greeted by a mysterious voice who grants him the Digipad, a device which allows him to return and prevent his death. But Destiny has a twisted sense of humour, as preventing one death usually leads to another means of perishing. While exploring a multitude of time periods, he uncovers connections to these past moments, a weaving thread which explains his repeat murders as well as the roles of several side characters, including waitress Dana and the Wagner family from the 1580s. Its outlandish premise is immediately intriguing, and it develops even further with a slew of plot lines which build to satisfying twists. Shadow of Memories has an interesting structure based around the adventure genre. Divided into 10 chapters, each usually tasks you with helping Ike dodge a fatal ending. Your Digipad gets plenty of use, as once you earn clues to cheat death, you can utilise time travel to change your ending. Ike can move freely around the environment, interact with NPCs to often gain information, and use items in proximity to trigger events. You cannot jump freely, as the energy is expended with each jump between times, though luckily you can find these around the environment. There's quite a lot of extra content to dig out, with each chapter containing cutscenes which require certain triggers in order to view them, such as trying to move when being interrogated by a mob of people. While the linearity of the game can be a tad disappointing with, oddly, dogs blocking access to certain areas, the flexibility of the game makes up for it. There's also an undercurrent of tension to proceedings, as being in the wrong time upon Ike's death in the present will result in a game over.
What? Huh? Huh? Oh, sorry. I fell asleep.
Throughout the game, a handful of decisions will alter the course of the story. Some of them feel quite inconsequential, but will shape the environment around you, such as finding a kitten for a person in the past, resulting in the present area being filled with cats. Some are far more serious, often indicated by the decision being posed twice to make sure you feel correct in your choosing. These will alter the latter portion of the game, resulting in different epilogues and one of 6 endings. While the initial 6-hour run may seem a touch short, there's plenty of replay value in seeing how all the divergences play out. Not only that, but fortuitously, you can skip cutscenes you've already watched, making it a bit less arduous. The only shame is the presentation, which errs on the uneven side. It is admittedly an early PS2 title, but even by those standards, there's a flatness and lack of detail to the characters, the environment, and assets. Despite these flatter moments, there are some impressive animations and particle effects, especially the snow-caked look of the 1980s. The game takes place in Lebensbaum, a German fictional town which maintains its look throughout time, but often has little changes and tweaks, such as different areas coming with a unique colour tone. But the recycled environs and characters may grate a touch. The sound is iffy, but maybe in the right way. The voice acting is campy, B-movie fare, with tons of odd moments which make the whole game rather surreal. But it's never bad enough to be unbearable, just entertainingly strange for those who can stand poorly done English translations. The music and sound effects are pretty solid, with some memorable tracks and cool little bites which give the game its own atmosphere. Shadow of Memories doesn't necessarily hit a home run with all of its ambitions, but it is nevertheless an intriguing and memorable adventure, which is both defined and hindered by its outlandishness. It's not a game for everyone, with a perverse strangeness and slow burn pace which will turn off plenty of players, but those who can deal with these parts will find a rewarding mystery which satisfyingly unravels into several interesting strands. If you have any passing interest in the adventure genre, it's definitely worth a look, especially on a console that's relatively short on these sorts of mysteries.
Alright, I'm sorry I called you the devil. I don't want to die yet. Please, help me.